There comes a time in our lives when we reach that moment when we realize that it's time to get back up. And that's coming up next on Higher Learning. And the Lord struck the child that Uriah's wife bore to David, and it became ill. David therefore pleaded with God for the child. And David fasted and went in and laid all night on the ground. So the elders of his house arose and went to him to rise him up from the ground. But he would not, nor did he eat food with them. Then on the seventh day, it came to pass that the child died. And his servants were afraid to tell him that the child was dead. But they said, indeed, while the child was alive, we spoke to him, and he would not heed our voice. How can we tell him that the child is dead? He may do some harm. When David saw that his servants were whispering, he perceived that the child was dead. Therefore David said to his servant, is the child dead? So David arose from the ground. He washed. He anointed himself. He changed his clothes, and he went into the house of the Lord and worshiped. Then he went to his own house, where he requested that they set food before him, and he ate. Then his servant said to him, what is this that you have done? You fasted and wept for the child while he was alive. But when the child died, you arose and ate food. And David said, while the child was alive, I fasted and wept, for I said, who can tell whether the Lord will be gracious to me that the child may live? But now he is dead. Why should I fast? Can I bring him back again? Shall I go to him? But he shall not return to me. David realized his sin, yet he got off from being on the ground. He washed. He anointed himself. He changed his clothes, and he went into the temple, the house of the Lord, and he worshiped. We all handle grief differently. But I believe David took his sin and his grief and presented it to the Lord in the form of worship. You see, the Bible teaches us, for a righteous man falls 7 times and rise again. And the key word here is righteous, right standing. Now, don't get me wrong, David was not perfect. He had his flaws, but he was still a man of God's own heart. He still had a right standing with the Lord. And because of this right standing, he went to the Lord and worshiped. Now, we do not know what was said, what was done during this period of time of his worship. But when he left the temple, he went on his way. My brothers and sisters, he got up. And speaking from experience, we too can get up. We can give our pains, our anguish, our hurt, our sorrows, and yes, even our grief, and lay it before the Lord. And he will hear our cry. He will comfort us. He will give us everything that we need to move forward. So to all of us who are dealing with whatever we're dealing with, please know, and I'm telling you from experience, when those things happen to us, the best thing I can tell you to do is get off the ground, wash yourself, change your clothes, and go into the house of the Lord and worship him. My brothers and sisters, it's time to get back up. Be blessed.